Hey guys, how's it going? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Awesome, excellent. Hey, bro. Hey, John. You guys
Hello.
quickly
Hey
go on
guys.
mute. You're like, I gotta go on mute. Just getting set up here. Do, do,
It was good. I
do.
just read somebody posted about this because I forgot you mentioned this, I think, yesterday. And then I'm like, oh, yeah, I want to join this. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah. All right, let's get. Oh, we got. Oh, Lee in Scottsdale. Are you seriously here? Lee, are you there? Oh, you're on mute, I think, but you're here.
There we go. What's going on?
There we go. All right, buddy.
Where are you guys?
We got one of our traders with us, and just try and get going on this. I'm not the best at doing this at the live stream webinar type of thing. Let me just give me 1 second here. Um, the hell? Why am I like disappearing? Weird. There we go. Delvin, are you okay?
He put his username there.
Who is that?
It's Dagadel.
Yeah, right. Yeah. All right, there we go. Yeah, we got Digadel. All right, and then Michael, he's here. Let's add him to the stage as well. So how you guys doing? How was the month of June for you?
This is Michael L. We need everyone's screen name so we know who we're talking to.
Is that Michael L? Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I was
Yes,
guessing. I'm not
Digadel
sure.
in the virtual flesh. Yeah, exactly. So my wife told me I shouldn't have. I obviously had like the CFU hat on and the CFU T-shirt on. She told me I shouldn't have both logos on at the same time. It looks pretty over the top. So I don't know if I should go black. I had the black hat. I don't know if that works. She'd probably say no, that doesn't work. Or if I should go with the Toronto Maple Leafs. Ugh, I don't know. Does that work?
Ah, give up.
Just give just give up. I
60,
think
what,
the
60 years later? I think since the day I was born, they haven't
like
won. So
1942, right? Or
yeah,
45 or whatever
whatever.
the years
Years
when
before
they
I was born.
yeah, so maybe we'll just go with the straight hair. Okay, all right. So let's get into the week that was. That was I don't know, absolutely incredible. I'll pull up my spreadsheet that I've been working on this afternoon. I hope you guys all made money this week. Like you definitely should have made incredible money this week and this month for sure.
Best month ever.
We're
Best month
definitely
ever.
on point with almost every single one of the trades we had out. Let me show you some of the stuff that I work with, like in terms of spreadsheets and. Let me just share this. I'll put this on the slides, but share screen. Yeah, I want to do that. Okay, so you guys should be able to see my screen. This is kind of the spreadsheet that I work with every day. It has kind of a running total of all the orders and all the different trades that we've been working with. And we've got the trades that I have here. This is kind of the spreadsheet that I work with every single morning before we publish these out and give it to everyone. They're automated. It bases the prices off of the close or the last known price. It doesn't take into account after hours or anything like that. And it's an Excel spreadsheet that I've been able to pull from the data feed that Excel has there. It instantly gives me an idea of who is above or below the target price that we have. So this gives me a really good dashboard of to what I need to be focused on. I like some of the trades that Kyle and Coach Mac put out today for Disney and Amazon. I wanted I wanted a piece of those, and then we got the Berkshire Hathaway. Of course, I just can't say enough good things about Warren Buffett and his approach for investing. So I definitely want to have exposure to his stock and his company at all times. And we roll through it. So June was looking really good. If I'm honest, June was looking really good. July is not looking as good as June. So I need to manage a lot of the risks that we have here and make sure that we're equally exposed for where we need to go forward. So you saw that I pushed out Clorox today. I put that out to August. And then I also put out McDonald's to December. So those two moves for those roles, that was to take advantage of, okay, like, they're slightly out of the money, they're slightly out of our target, and we need to make some moves in order to get them kind of going towards where we need them to go there. I don't know if you guys have any questions per se on any of those specific positions. No? We're good? Okay, so monthly results. We've been tracking this since inception. We did really well in a month. This just the system trades that we've been tracking here. We've got options action, weekly income, CFU black, and also our free trade alerts. They brought in a total sum of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's kind of funny. Like literally $1,234 were brought in through the 4 system trades that we have. And that's assuming just one contract per trade as well too. So they were able to book out really good profits there. I don't know, Lee, if you wanted to speak a little bit about what you've been seeing on your side there. I can zoom in a little bit, or so it's.
Yeah, no, I've been kind of taking it easy, slowing it down a little bit. I mentioned today I had my my year-to-date numbers, which actually looked really good. I just barely cracked the threshold there, so that was fun. But I've just been kind of slowly, just kind of taking it easy, not trying to take on too much risk, not just kind of wheeling shares. I don't know for the people who kind of see what I post.
Yeah.
Just, for the most part, I do a lot of the calendar spreads just as something that's kind of
I
easy.
actually wanted to ask you about that
Mhm.
with the calendar spreads, because that's kind of a new trade that I'm going to bring it over here. Do you want to just step us through what you're doing with these? This is my view of
Yeah.
CFU. Let's go through some of the trades that you had this month here.
Yeah. So the kind of one of the reasons why I do it, and one of the reasons is I like that I can get a lower strike. So, for example, I'm just looking at my spreadsheet too. I did the coin one today. So I did it at 192.5 for basically 2 weeks from now, or for next week and then the week after. So a long put for next week, short put for the week after. And then in a much smaller, just like IRA for my wife that I do on the side, I sold today at 202.5 for next week. So one of the reasons why I like the calendar spreads for my larger account is because I can go a lot lower and get basically a similar credit or higher sometimes, but it also gives me that long as the sort of like a semi hedge. So they can be a little hard to explain sometimes, but for example, the NVIDIA one that I posted, the roll down that I posted this week, I had a 122.
This one here? Which one is it?
The one that says, it should say roll right there. Yep, right there, roll down. Yep. So the right in the middle. Yep. So that roll down. Yeah. So what I did was I closed my long 122 for NVIDIA, and this was a couple of days yesterday. So I closed the long NVIDIA, and I closed that at a profit, and that enabled me to roll down the strike for next week, but on the same date. So I just went same date, so July 5th for my short put. I went down from 122 down to 119. And that's where the long put comes in as that hedge, where if the stock does drop a lot, it helps me roll those down. And I mentioned too, someone asked me the other day, and I think it was yesterday, down in the guides area. Someone asked me just some questions, and I wrote up a few things. But essentially, it's like roughly 90% of the time, everything just expires worthless. So it's what I kind of called it just an income hedge or income play, income strategy, whatever, for me. So for the most part, so looking at last month, I have a couple spreadsheets because I have a couple different accounts, but just in my one account, between Coin, NVIDIA, and SMCI, it's like $7,700 just these, basically not even every week, because I didn't do them on the first week of that month. But it's kind of actually a pretty large part of my strategy now, and a big part of that is because I have a lot of cash in my account, so I'm just using that as a way to produce income. But also, I will buy the shares if I need to. So the example I used was ARM. I was assigned the ARM shares a while ago, maybe like 2 months ago, and then I just saw the baby in my screen there. I had the ARM shares. I was assigned, and then I just did the cover calls. Eventually sold the cover calls, and then I forget what the dollar amount was. I posted it in my channel, I don't know, maybe a week or two ago, but it was like $5,000 or $6,000 maybe over the course of like 2 or 3 months. Selling the puts, getting the shares, selling the calls, and then, which is really just the wheel strategy essentially, which everyone's familiar with. But I just do it with the put spread because I like to get the lower strikes if I can. So today, going back to my coin trade, now I've sold the 192.5. So 2 weeks from now, if it continues to drop, which when I sold the one that expired, that I closed. Let's see, I'm just looking at my other ones. I closed the other one, I believe, and the 195s. So, or sorry, 215s. Getting confused. When I closed those 215s, now I'm able to sell another one. So now I'm down to the 192.5. So it's a little hard to explain. It takes a little bit to get used to, but
it does.
It's a little confusing and stuff. But it is a strategy that I do like to to kind of use, just mostly again as income. But it's something that I've been using a lot, that I kind of find as a fun strategy to give me that extra income.
Yeah, you seem to have a lot of success with those trades that you do on the reverse calendar splits. Yak Attack, how's it going? Yak Attack 77. Is it legitimate? Like, are you born in year 77 or is that just
Definitely not. Way younger than that.
way younger than that? I only say that because I was born in 77. So thank you for letting me know that.
This is my number for sports.
Old AF. Sorry, what's that?
This is my number when I played hockey.
Oh, awesome, man! Right on. Hockey's dear to my heart. I love the sport. It's a fantastic. Where'd you play for?
Oh, I just used to play in like high school and stuff.
Yeah.
Out in California.
Cool. Right on. Did you have a favorite trade, or did you want to step through something that happened this week or this month? Or maybe I don't know if that's a daughter or a son that you have there with you. I can't tell. I have 3 myself, so I can't really. I know sometimes it's difficult to tell when they're such newborns, but is that a Ray Bork fan? Excellent, Ezra. Is that a boy or a girl that you got there with you?
He's a boy. 4 months old.
4 months
almost
old?
5 months. Yeah, he's huge.
Right on. Yeah, congrats. Are you sleeping well at night?
Yeah, sleeping through the night. It's not too bad.
Man, you're winning already. I remember I had my daughter and my oldest daughter. She was like a dragon at night. I couldn't tell, like, what. Oh man, how do I get her to sleep well? And it took forever. So you're blessed that he's sleeping well for you. Did you have a favorite trade that you wanted to go over?
No, I don't think so. He's waking back up, so I'm gonna go off camera here probably.
No, it's totally fine. No. just maybe drop them or something like that. But it's all good. Thanks for joining us, Yak Attack. Boro, did you want to talk about a trade, or do you have any questions on anything that we've
Yeah,
done
no, I
this
mean,
month?
I got a couple questions. So Lee, I've been following your coin trades, and I've learned about the calendar put spread, which I never did before. I've done like wheel selling, covered calls, puts, but I like this and I like the hedge. But I've been a little hesitant to go with the higher value, equities like Nvidia, just because.
Yep.
You always have that margin requirement. Like before, it was like whatever, $78,000. I'm like, okay, I've got cash, but I don't want to put it all into one stock. So I like the hedge concept. So in the fact that you sold the long put to then roll down your short side on the same expiry, like I guess my question is, how often are you seeing that you're getting assigned versus you're able to use your long put to actually not get assigned because you're able to roll down?
Yeah, I think my estimation is around, I'd say 90% of the time everything expires totally worthless, because I do, after the long put expires, I keep the short side, so that's why I basically call it like a cash secured put, because I do keep the long side or the short side. And then I'd say about 5% of the time I use the long side to roll down the short side. And even in examples like AMD, which I currently own from this strategy, at a 172.5 cost basis, which I've been selling covered calls on. In that case, the long actually expired, and I just used the short to roll it down by time. So you can roll down, just the same day, or you can roll it down by time. So in that case, even if the long does expire, I can still use the short side to roll down. So what I did was I rolled that down a few times. Eventually was assigned early, because I had dropped into like the 150s at the time. But I've been, I don't mind owning, any of these. So I don't mind owning those AMD shares. I've been selling the covered calls of them. So about 90% of the time, nothing happens. 5% roll down, and then 5% probably assigned. So I own some Tesla shares from last year. I own, which I'm fine. I have a lot of Tesla. I'm finding the covered calls in those, which they pay well. I owned ARM for a little bit. I sold that. I had some Amazon shares earlier this year too, and then currently just have those AMD shares. I was close this week to get in the coin shares, although I would have rolled down.
It was a little hot this week.
Yep, I would have rolled down the strike though too. I wasn't looking at it too closely, but I would have rolled down probably usually like a week or two. You can kind of do that. I do see an example or a question that says, "Can you explain the difference?" This is in the chat. Oh, there it is. Can you explain the difference? And between the put calendar spread. So I think the put calendar spread is definitely way more hedged in terms of like max loss and capital requirements. So you could do a put calendar spread on coin for like basically a $2.50, $2.50 spread. I'm doing it. I'm essentially, I need the full 19,000 or so available for the strategy. So it's more of a cash dependent strategy. But yes, you are making more.
Okay, so what Lee? Let's go through. It's a really good question actually that's been put forward there.
Yep.
And I would like to learn a little bit about that as well too. So let's go through one of your trades that you had with the reverse calendar put spread.
Yeah,
I do see the difference between what would it have been if you did a put credit spread versus the calendar spread.
Yeah,
if you're okay with that.
Yeah, of course. I do have to leave at 2:30, but or at least go off camera and off mic. But I got a few minutes pulled up here. Yeah, no, I think it's a good.
I got your order here on the left side, and I got option strat on the right side, which is what I use for doing a lot of our trades too. So,
so you can look at the coin one today if you want to. You want to do that one? Since that one's more of a straight one versus the NVIDIA one.
This one here?
Yep. Oh no, sorry. Right, probably above. Or no, at the hold on, is it the bottom? I gotta find it. Hold on one second. It should be it's from today. Oh, it should be the most recent one.
Your last trade.
The very bottom.
This one here.
Yes. Oh, I can't see it because the chat is, or the chat, the comment you have pinned is above it.
Okay, let me get rid of that then.
There we go. Okay, now
is that better?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So the long 192.5 for next week, and then the short for the week after. And sometimes you'll see sometimes I'll do it's called the reverse diagonal put spread, which is just when they're different strikes. Sometimes I'll do that just to get more credit on it.
I don't even know if they have this as a.
But isn't it about the main difference is margin, isn't it? I mean, there's a premium difference, but there's a margin difference too with the.
Yeah. There's definitely a much bigger, margin requirement for sure. I mean, depending on where you are, Robinhood requires full. I believe Fidelity requires 25 to 50%. I personally like to just have it all available in my account because I don't like to over leverage myself or get into any risky situations like on was it 419 when everything dropped really heavily. I don't want to be in a situation where I get overextended. So yeah, the margin on these is going to be, for me personally at least, similar, basically like a cover or a cash secured put. I think you have to actually manually flip them yourself. You have to hit the negative button next to quantity because there we go. Yep. There you got it.
So I'm gonna buy the 192.5 put for July 5.
Yep, and then just change the yep. There we go.
Yep.
That's it. Yep. So it's interesting because when you look at the Robinhood site that I linked to in the guides, they call it a volatility strategy, but I sell them out of the money. So in this case, coin's about 13% out of the money today. So I'm selling the 192.5s. Currently is 222 roughly. So my goal is ideally really for it just to stay above the 192.5 within the 2 week time frame. I also do this. The way I pick the strikes is I pick them about 90% for like what they call like per chance of profit or percent of profit on the Robinhood site, which equals out to like a 0.1 delta.
Right.
But yeah, so this is the visualization of it. I mean, essentially my goal is just for it to stay, above. I think these are a little funny to me looking because sorry, my finger's in the way. They're a little funny looking because I think they assume you might sell the long put or you might sell or buy the short put back when the long expires. I don't think that they assume you're holding this. So the visual on this I think is a little weird because it shows your break even at 212. Again, I think that's because their expiration date is you can see it's July 5th. So it's a little odd when you look at it this way. I think just compared to the way that I'm doing it, it's a little bit different. But to the question, which was the difference between the put credit spread, for that one, obviously, it's a lot less capital. I think for me, I'm fine with buying the shares basically eventually if I'm going to wheel them. That's really where I see it.
So you're fine with like buying the shares if you had to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think
what's the difference between this and the cash secure put then?
For me, it's the extra hedge, which gives me the ability to roll down the short side, and it also gives me a lower strike. I just like being able to have the option of buying the shares at a lower price, basically. So that's the personal reason why I like it. And then because if you wanted, so for the coin one today, I got $1.03 per hedge or per contract for spread. If you were to do just like a straight put credit spread, you would need probably closer to like a 220 or a 217.5 strike, would be my guess, to get the same credit per contract. So for me, it's really just about the ability to sell it out of the money and then just to kind of collect that credit. And for the most part, again, 90% of the time, for the most part, I don't have to worry about it.
Excellent. So what do you do if you do get assigned or if the trade does not work out as you expect it to? What's kind of your go-to strategy on that one then?
Yeah, so
I know you got to go in 3 minutes here.
You're good. So yeah, if I get to the if we get to the short date, so in this case 712, and it's below 192.5, I will usually, it depends how far below it is. So what I'll usually do, or most likely I would roll it down and out. So I'd roll it down as much as I could, and I rolled out about probably 2 weeks. That's my go-to strategy, is roll it down by 2 weeks as far as I can, and then see how it is in 2 weeks. Possibly do it again. Like I mentioned, I don't care if I buy them. Eventually, I would just rather buy them at a lower price for the most part. I mean, coin was at like what, 260 maybe 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago. So, if I'm buying this, at a significantly lower price, I'm fine wheeling them. And again, I'm only doing on stocks that I'm okay to buy, and I'm only doing it at a volume or like a quantity that I am. This is my son. Yes.
He's there. Dad, we gotta go. You promised. So Lee, we've been working together for about 2 years, I think now, maybe a little more. And I think you've been to the Super Bowl, paid for options.
Yeah, I like to say that I bought my Jeep. I have a Jeep Wrangler I bought. I like to say I bought that with the options. We went to the Super Bowl this year to watch the Eagles. We lived in Philadelphia for a while. Watch the Eagles. We travel a ton. We have two boys. I missed part of your question, but so I don't know if that was the question about what I paid for.
That was. You know where I was going with that. Is
I heard the last part about the Super Bowl. Yeah, so yeah,
we helped you with your financial freedom. Or
yes, yeah. I think the big thing for me is that we've been saving a large percentage of our income, which if you're familiar with like the so-called FIRE movement, financial independence movement, saving the percentage is like one of the biggest things. So we've been saving a large percent for so long, but we've also been doing real estate. We have a bunch of rentals. We bought and sold property. So like eventually, it adds up to what we have. We both also have good jobs and stuff. My wife's a doctor, so it's like there's if you have the income and then you save a lot of it, eventually you get to the point where I feel like where we're at now, where I can sell options and just take those trades and kind of use those to eventually, the goal is, a couple of years, we can both leave our jobs and then go travel.
Dad, can you clean up the...
Okay, Lee, thank you for being with us today.
Of course,
buddy.
This was fun. This is actually, for anyone listening, it's the first time Steve and I have talked in person, actually. I've chatted with you, but I've never actually.
It's the first time we've talked in person with on camera and stuff. So
I'm still gonna listen, but I just have to go. I'm gonna listen on my phone, so I'm gonna pull up on my phone. So, but yeah, it was good to be here. We'll do it again.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, Lee. Appreciate you. Druten, are you there?
I am. Yeah, just on my phone now.
Here
at the office.
Perfect, man. Dang, I appreciate you more than you know, and everything you do for the community. I don't know how do you do the auditing? Like, I look at the results. I'm like, wow, like it's truly impressive what you're doing. I don't know if you've set up a system or a repeatable process or something, but can you just step us
I
through
just don't sleep at all. That's I just don't sleep, and I just go over numbers basically all night. Now, I have specific formulas that it kind of alerts me if certain things are off, and so kind of rely on those quite a bit, and just kind of double check things as I see them. I have a pretty good memory with numbers, and so when I see them kind of being posted on Discord, I kind of remember them, and then as they pop up on the trade book, I kind of can remember if it was the same or if it looks a little off. So usually I can catch those pretty easily. But yeah, just going through it.
Yeah, no, I love it, and it helps out so much for myself in keeping, because usually you'll find that I'm off by a penny or a dime on some of the risk or some of the reward, or I've overstated something or understated something, and I just love having that second set of eyes to balance everything out, because
I'm never trying to be petty.
So many trades, right?
Yeah, I don't want to try to say, hey, we're a penny off here, and usually those don't matter at all. But so hopefully I'm not too much of a hindrance or annoyance with some of those. But
I think it really helps for most people to see kind of the transparency and helping us out to stay true to what we're delivering. And although you spot usually 2 to 3 errors that I post every week with the official systems, they're not gross errors. It's like a little bit like I got the trade number wrong,
Yeah.
or the percentage is off, or the decimal's off. But we quickly correct them as much as possible, and I think it brings a lot of credibility and honesty to the community because um, my priority first off is to make everyone profit. The the best way for us to continue to grow and to become a vibrant community of 1,000 or 2,000 members is to always produce profit for members. And second, we need to have transparency and truthfulness in everything that we do. So, anyways, Druten, really appreciate everything you do, and looking forward to your suggestion on how we decide who the next professional trader for us is going to be come August there. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that for sure.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah, it's a good times for sure. And you're out of Utah, is it?
I am, yeah.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, I love that state. It's just directly south for me, so I go there. I've been there a few times, and it's always like amazing weather. Like you guys have like 4 seasons of just amazingness all the time. It's great. It's like
yeah, it's hot today, but
it's hot today. Yeah. Okay, so we got a few questions that came through. We'll go with this one first. Can you give us a bit of insight on how you calculate roll trades? So, I'm always focused on the incremental decision. And once I'm into a trade and we have fulfilled the order, what I try and do is, okay, we're in. I always want to pick a profitable company that has growing revenues, growing earnings, hopefully, unless they're like at that growth company that's on the cusp of becoming profitable. So I'm okay with that. But so I always assume I've picked a profitable company like Caesars or Campbell's Soup or any of these legacy trades that we have that are just seemingly going on forever. And what I do is once it's time to make a decision, I want to go as long as I can. So yes, I do try to procrastinate as long as possible. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I want to go as long as possible and give the trade every opportunity to pan out the way that I believe that it could. Once I know that, okay, like this is just not going to work out, then I enter into the trade and say, okay, how is this going to look for the next foreseeable future? I use financial, which you guys have seen a lot of times in the seasonality analysis that I use. And I use option strat, which you can see here on the right side of the screen. And I use CNBC just from a fundamental standpoint, not from Jim Cramer's standpoint. I don't care much for him. I think he's, well, anyways, I don't want to talk about him. But I use CNBC just to get the fundamentals of the stock. Like what's the ROI? What's the ROI? What's the margin of profit and gross profit on each stock? And go from there. And then I just make the decision on what is the shortest term trade that we can enter into that would give us the next step towards profitability. Because if I need to roll it, obviously we didn't get profit. And I'm intensely focused on getting you profit on every trade we enter into. It takes me the shortest trade alert that I've done takes about an hour. The longest ones usually take up to 3 hours to put together, to do the write up, do the analysis, and find one. And if I can't find anything after 2 hours, 3 hours, then I'm like, okay, can't find anything. Nothing's worth it. Just book it and move on for next week. But that's how I approach it. I look at it as an incremental decision every single time. I don't try to do anything different than I try to keep as consistent as I can, be as predictable as I can, and give you guys as much lead time as possible. Now I know, and I've heard before, that you need to give us more lead time. We want to know on Thursday. We want to know like Friday morning. But sometimes there's a benefit of giving an option trade as much time as possible to see if it could actually pan out. So hopefully, Eric, that answers the question for you. So a quick summary: I wait as long as possible. and then I treat every trade as though it's a new trade. Incremental decision, see as shortly as I can get the trade to come in to our benefit. So if it just expires in the money or it just goes a little bit against us, then that's a really good benefit for us. I can tighten up the strikes. I can pull it in tighter. But like McDonald's, for example, that I had to roll today because it's gone so poorly against us, I had to really toss it out far, and I had to widen the strikes a lot. But when it's really close to what we're trying to get to, that allows me the opportunity to tighten the strikes, tighten the expiration date, and allow a shorter time frame to bring the trade to profitability there. Let's move on. Oh, I think Eric answered your question there, so that's kind of how I've done it. I joined CFU in March, so very new to learning. Planning to retire in 3 years, and I'm thoroughly enjoying learning and making money with my question. Okay, great. I don't know if that's really a question, kind of more feedback than anything. Thanks. That's fantastic. Thanks, John, for being with us. Yeah, here's a this is from Decoding. Yeah, Druten, you're doing a fantastic job on your auditing and keeping us honest and true to our to our objective of getting profitable trades for everyone. And I also agree with this that the speed at which you were able to bring member alerts on and analyzed and profit and loss and how that came about was spectacular. So kudos to you for that. And yeah, agree with Digadel on this one 100%. That man, I don't know how you do it, to be honest. Mr. Dan, in your place for the systems, you make it clear on how the system type to expiry dates. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I'm trying to optimize time and probability. So, something that I think needs to be shared and made very clear with everyone is I do favor seasonality a lot. If you take a look at my system, I love fundamentals. I want to have a profitable company, growing revenues, growing earnings. Great if they have dividend increases over time. It just shows me that it's a profitable company. They're going places and they know what they're doing. They got good management. They're trustworthy, et cetera, et cetera. I don't really get any further than that. Once I've picked a good company, then what I want to do after that is I want to say, okay, certain companies perform better or worse during different times of the year. And I'll share with everyone here who's online with us that if you look at seasonality, if you traded only by seasonality, you would outperform the S&P 500 by 1%. You can Google it, look it up. Seasonality will outperform the S&P 500 just slightly. It gives you an edge. Now, if I can take that edge and I can apply it to option trading where we have a magnification, additional leverage, and we're able to like 10x or 50x the trade, then I'm going down a line that is beneficial for the community. So I love seasonality. I love an ability to say, okay, like, maybe Apple typically announces really good things in a particular month. Maybe oil performs really well during the summer months and then it kind of tapers off during the latter months. If I can apply that, use some fundamentals and use technicals as well on layer on top of that, then I can actually build a really good trade. I don't want to ever say that that we're going to hit a 90% out of the gate on every trade. That's just not possible. But if I can enter into a 50-50 bet and I can approach it with a 60% probability rate of success, I'm willing to take that. And so fundamentals, technicals, and also seasonality can bend the trade just a little bit in our favor towards that 60% probability rate, and then I'm going to enter into that trade. So you'll see, like lately, we've done extremely well. Like we're out of in terms of like the Bollinger Band, if you would, on top of CFU, we are outside of that Bollinger Band. We are performing much better than we should be at this time. Kyle has done fantastic. He's on vacation right now. He can't join us. And so it's going to revert. It's going to pull back just a little bit. Like, let's be honest, it's going to pull back a little bit. But if we can stay consistent and move forward with our systems, over time, if we continue to make 50-50 bets or 50-50 trades, but we're actually at the 60% success rate, we will definitely make significant money for everyone. And if we can continue to apply that to the roles, to the entering of new trades, and make sure that we're entering into intelligent trades, then we'll continue to make good money going forward. Yeah, so I think this is kind of the same thing, Minster. All right, hey guys, it's Michael. Just tuning in for a bit, participating soon in a critical mass bike event. What's a critical mass bike event? Michael, what is that? I don't even know what that is. What's a critical mass bike event? He's not going to answer me. So Michael is our newest. I can show you what he's been doing for us. He does a lot of our market news. And he's been doing a fantastic job at sharing. I'll make it full screen here because we're not doing to reverse common spreads. But just he's been doing a fantastic job at sharing what everything is going on in the market. I don't know. It's just a fantastic level of analysis and information for us, which has been excellent. And we have Uncommon Yield. If you don't know Uncommon Yield, he's a great follow on. I'm going to hide that comment there. He's a great follow on Twitter, if you haven't already. And he has a very unique way of looking at the stock market and how things develop, and very good analysis on stocks and bonds and crypto apparently too. But he's a great follow there. So we've got him daily. Every morning he gives 3 to 4 reports on what's going on, and then Michael takes over and begins to give you, earnings or reports throughout the day. One thing that I think we got 50 minutes left here, and we're at 42 minutes into the live stream. I want to go through, just if you're a new participant to CFU, I understand that we can be a little overwhelming. It's difficult to know where you want to start. So I'm gonna, we'll share this video after the broadcast is done, and we'll post it out to everyone. But I wanted to share with you where I would start. So you can kind of see here on my screen here, I have kind of, I guess unlimited access, but let's just start here at the very top. So if you're brand new to CFU, you want to go in here on the starting here. This gives you a good idea of how you can start the first steps you want to do, 2 to 6 trades, ease in. One of the problems we've always had with CFU is people jump in and they're like, I want to make money like right away. And I've always a little struggled with that just a little bit, because I need 30 to 45 days with you to show you the quality, to show you how excellent CFU is. But anyways, these are the starting points that you want to hit off on. And then if you're a full member, what you're going to get access to is Kyle, Coach Mac, and Lee. And Lee was on with us earlier today, but he had to drop off. So these are our top 3 traders that we have right now. Kyle is absolutely phenomenal. Highly recommend entering into every single trade that he posts. He follows everything to completion, and he has one of our best win rates. And he also has an average trade duration of only 6 days, which is far better than what even I can produce. My trade date is about 30 to 45 days. I can actually show you that. I have it. Not that spreadsheet. So this is my performance that I have with our systems. I'm averaging 42 days across all 4 systems of options, action, weekly income, CFU Black, and free trader. So I average about 42 days. So it takes me approximately 42 days to get you a return on your risk of 38%. So Kyle is able to give you, I don't know what his return on risk is, but he's able to bring this down to about 6 days. So he's a phenomenal trader. I cannot even compete with that guy. He's fantastic. One of our best option traders that we have. So I would start with him for sure. Coach Mac is also excellent. He closed out a few trades today, which were totally on point. And then Lee is great for more complex trades. So Lee comes in with some reverse butterfly spreads, calendar spreads, and he's really good for if you want to take your option trading to the next level. Mark is good for covered calls and cash secured puts. Business famous, or I don't know if I'm allowed to share his real name, but I will anyways. His name is Chris, so you can like bug him. Chris, how you doing, man? So there, yeah, he has it his name out here. So Chris is a fantastic trader as well too. I've been working with him for seems like the dawn of time, 3+ years. I don't know. And he loves doing cash secured puts. That's his mojo. So he's great for short-term income if you wanted to get in that. Steven trades on this. So basically on this channel, what I'm going to share with you are just wheeling trades. So I'll wheel Berkshire Hathaway every month with you. And if I see anything abnormal or I see an opportunity that I think you should get into, then I'll post it here. But my focus really is down here in CFU Black and then our official option trading systems of options action and weekly income. The 3 of these take almost the bulk of all of my time. But if I see anything abnormal, I'm like, oh, this is a fantastic trade, then I'll post it up here in my trading channel here. And then member trades here. This is actually, we just added this like last month. And this is our CFU Black members, which is our top tier. So down here, you can see this. CFU Black is our top tier trading system. I widen the strikes. I'm a little more aggressive. You let me do what I want to do. There's no holds. Like I can do whatever I want. This is our top tier. I can this week, which we're trying to hit it out of the park. For example, this week alone, we tried. We were unsuccessful, but just as an example, we tried. Oh, where the hell are you? I couldn't even. There should be something about TC Energy. Oh, that was in here up here. So this is the type of trade that I would have put in CFU Black, but for some really weird reason, I dropped it in my private trading channel. But this is a highly aggressive trade where we're trying to take advantage of some news that could be happening out of TC Energy. But this is a very aggressive channel here with CFU Black, and it's offered to everyone after you've been with us for 6 months. There's no upcharge, there's no surcharge, you don't have to upgrade, nothing. It's just we just need you to be with us for 6 months. If you've been with it for 6 months, then we'll get you in on CFU Black. We will do some 0-day trade alerts for like, hey, we're trying to close this out today. We're in and we're out. We also have options action, which is our kind of like almost like our flagship trading system, where I'm trying to double your account from 10K to 20K within, well, as quickly as possible. We started this in April of 2023, and my goal was to get this to double within a year. I did not accomplish that, so full disclosure, I did not accomplish it. And we needed to get until June of this year. So I was able to duplicate or double the value of that account within, what do you call that? 15 months. And it took 83 trades to get it there. I think it was 82 actually at the end of the day. So options action is a more aggressive trading system where I'm trying to tighten up everything just a little bit. I'm assuming you only have 10K to work with, and I'm trying to double that account as quickly as possible. If you have an account that's like 100K, 200K, 300K, $1 million, I do not recommend that you just like put the whole thing into options action. I don't recommend that. What you should do is look at this like, hey, maybe I can put 20K or 30K or 40K in, pay for something that I want to have a year from now, and pay for a vacation, pay for something that you want to do, put some into your 401K, whatever. But this is more kind of a, hey, let's see if I can get you $2,000. Let's see if I can get you $3,000, and go and love life and do what you want to do. Put your kid through college, buy a car. I don't know. You choose. But this is my, hey, let's just put a trading account together, drop in 30K, drop in 20K, and let's see what we can produce for you on that one. Weekly income is a little more stable. You'll see on here, it's actually almost outproduced options action, but it has done so with more capital and less return on the capital that we're putting at risk. So while it has delivered nearly the exact same results of 8K, so accounting for 2 extra months that it wasn't around, it has taken a lot more capital to produce that. CFU Black is my more, hey, you give me a ticket and I'm gonna run, and you let me do what I want to do, and there's no rules. Don't give me any rules. I can do what I want. On these ones here, I'm trying to manage a 10K account. On weekly income, what I'm trying to do is just generate steady income as profitable as possible over the long term for you. And then this is actually more like free trades. This is my attempt to just give you a free trade. That's it. Just something that comes along. We do have free members that are joining us, and I'm just trying to show them what I could do for them on a short-term basis there. So hopefully I've answered a lot of your questions. How Decoding asked this. So how often do you look at Delta, if at all? Mm-hmm. Decoding, if I'm going to be honest with you, I don't look at it much. So the Greeks, and the reason I hesitated on answering that is I'm like, okay, Delta, I don't really look at it. The Greeks, I don't really look at it. I know they're important, but I want a profitable company with growing revenues that is going to do well over the next 6 to 12 months. I want a good analyst result, like a financial analyst and stock market analyst on it, that they have a good prediction of the stock going forward. And I want to enter into a good seasonal trend that I can predict on. And then after that, I'm willing to go pretty close to the money. You guys have seen the trades that I've posted, and I'm willing to go pretty close to the money. I don't try and go out of the money or shy away. I'm willing to hit it. Let's go for it. I've picked a good company. I've picked a good story. I've picked a good opportunity. The dividend's been increasing, and so let's go for it. If we get a good limit order in and we get a good fill on that order, then we'll get a good profitable trade out of it. Like, we were in on Apple for over a year, and I never lost confidence on Apple. I'm like, you got the best company in the world. Like, okay, now it could be Nvidia or it's maybe Microsoft. They seem to be like picking which one they're going to go with. I don't know. But Apple has such loyalty, such profitability, excellent margin. It's a no-brainer. Like, go for it. Like, there's no need to shy away or throw some far out of the money put spread. Like, let's go, let's hit it. I don't even mind going in the money on Apple. Long term, it'll be okay. And so we can enter into a trade on that, and it might seem really risk on, but long term it's risk off because, or it's less risk at least, because it's a fantastic company. And then in the springtime there, I don't know if it was like May, I think it was, Apple announced that they were going to go and do the largest buyback in history. I'm like, we're done. We got it. It's going to be a profitable trade no matter what now. So, I don't mind going risk on with a good company. So where I would hesitate on risk, this is kind of the opposite question of what you're going for. I don't like meme stocks. So you can kind of see that I've shied away from GameStop. I've shied away from SoFi. I don't really like SoFi. There's a lot of other stocks as well that I'm like, I don't know. Like it's difficult to value it. Like when I look at GameStop, it's like, is it undervalued or is it overvalued? And my initial answer is it's overvalued according to the cash flows and where they're going. And so, but it's so powerfully manipulated by social media and Roaring Kitty and all these other influencers that I have no ability to see, like, what's Roaring Kitty going to do next? I don't know. But I need to have a good company underneath it. And it's so difficult to predict that I just say, you know what? No, I'm going to go. I'd rather put my capital at risk with something like Apple. And Nvidia is also becoming a bit of a meme stock as well too. So I'm starting to shy away from that. You saw in my post earlier this week where I'm starting to shy away from it just a little bit. Like the AI theme, I love AI. I've told you guys that I love AI. I use it every single day, but there's so much hype behind it that I'm starting to pull back just a little bit, saying, it might be overbought. And so I just want to go to like an MSCI or a different company that just has a little bit more value and a little bit more predictability. And I can enter into an option trade that is aggressive on a predictable company, and I can still generate excellent returns. So I just don't see why I would want to do these type of trades because I can get fantastic returns on good profitable companies. So next question here. So sorry, that was a really long-winded question to answer. Sorry to answer this one here. How often do I look at Delta? I don't look at Delta so much. I do look at Theta a lot though. So that's the opposite to that question too. Decoding. I look at Theta a lot because we're doing so many spreads. When Theta flips against us, now we need to start looking at, okay, we need to start to look at rolling it. So Restoration Hardware, we need to start looking at that one because the Theta is so poor against us on that one, and that has been a bit of a mistrade. But we've got the protective put in place to help us out on that. So Theta, I do look at Theta. Delta, not a whole lot because I'm doing so many spreads that the Theta kind of washes out on that one a little bit. All right, here from Boro. Notice for some system trades, you note how many contracts you have open. I find this quite useful to manage. Yeah, so I started doing this recently. I was hesitant on applying this because I didn't know how it. Should I be sharing how many contracts I'm trading? Should you not just do it on your own according to what you have for risk? And I've been going back and forth. I'll take off the comment here because it's taking up some real estate, and I'm also going to take off Druten, Michael, and Boro just so it's a little cleaner screen. I was hesitant on this because I didn't want to show you guys that, hey, sometimes I'm trading 10 contracts, sometimes I'm trading 5, sometimes I'm trading just 1. I didn't want to influence you on that. So I kept that anonymous for a long time. But then we had some people jump in and they were trading like at a level of I was not comfortable with. Like they were trading 20 contracts, 30 contracts. I'm like, don't do that. Don't do it. Like honestly, to trade 20 or 30 contracts you need to have an account size of $2 million to $3 million. And maybe you have that, which is great. But for the rest of us who are a little more not at the $2 or $3 million level, we should be trading just 2, 3, or 5 contracts. I don't like one contract. I'll do it if I have to. If it's like a, hey, we got to enter in at $500, I'll do that one-on-one contract. But anything when it gets down to like the, hey, we're getting a $50 credit spread, if that's where my system has come in, it's like, hey, that's the most efficient way for doing it. I'm not doing that for $50. Like let's be honest. So that's going to be a 5 to 10 contract trade for me. So so I started to share how many contracts I'm going to trade, and thanks Borrow for sharing that. That was useful information. I was a little hesitant on sharing that because I didn't want to influence you on how many contracts you might consider trading. But it's good impact, or sorry, good feedback to know that. Okay, guys, we're coming up on an hour. You probably heard way too much from me already. I'll give you guys a few more minutes to share your questions or any kind of input that you might have, and then we'll get wrapping up here. We got the week ahead. I still got to put this PowerPoint together. You guys know, every week we put a PowerPoint together with the week ahead, and we summarize our last week. This is obviously from last week, so don't hold me on this. I have to update it still. And we go through the top trades that we had, our system performance, our open trades that we're analyzing, keeping monitoring, and then we go through the earnings and then our predicted schedule for the week ahead there. So, excuse me. We do that every week. If you're new to us, what you want to focus on is these top trading channels up here. I would definitely start with Kyle. There's a reason why I put him at the very top. Like seriously, the guy's at the top. Legitimate. He's at the top. So Kyle is one of our best. Coach Mac is excellent. Lee is also excellent. He was on with us earlier today. Then I would start with our options action trade. So I'm trying to manage the margin on this account responsibly, and so I'm having to do one trade a week until I get us down below $10,000, and then we'll start adding some additional trades in there and get us going again. But we've been very successful through June. We've had Spotify, Charter Communications closed out today, which was fantastic. We got a lot of profit off that one. And then after that, weekly income is also an excellent kind of almost conservative way to trade options. So I love this channel. Very high success rate. In fact, I don't think we've closed out a losing trade yet on weekly income. Yeah, it's 100%. This is wrong. This needs to be, there's a losing trade inside options action. But weekly income has been extremely successful. Very, very good trading platform. And then CFU Black, that's reserved for our traders who have been with us for 6 months. If you have been with us for 6 months, reach out to me in DM, like these guys are doing over here, and just post, hey, I've been with you for 6 months. Do you mind? Oh, I shouldn't share that. No, it's just our traders. We have, you guys got to know we have a private channel with our traders. We share what's going on. Just reach out to me in DM, and then I will upgrade you to CFU Black, no problem. Free Trader, this is our introductory channel where we just share 1 to 2 free trades a month to show you the quality that we have here at CFU. Okay, guys, I need 2 more minutes, and then we're gonna close off the channel, and we'll be with you again next week. I think these are helpful to give you guys an opportunity to toss questions at me and see how we're doing. Plus, you get to see the new CFU merch. It's really good. So if you were interested in buying some of this, this is actually a pretty cool story. I'll show you this. We'll end on this note here. So this is CFU merch. Oh man, come on. There we go. I'm not. I guess I kind of am plugging this, but this is our merchandise site. You can come over here. We got T-shirts, we got hoodies, hats that I'm obviously wearing unfashionably. So, but the cool story about this is put on by a woman in my local area, and she does this essentially at cost. She doesn't make she makes like $5 on each piece of the clothing here, and we don't get any money from it. We don't get anything. This is just for her to get a little bit of money in her pocket, and for her to express herself and come up with some new designs. Let me show you. This is what's coming down the pipe with CFU. Where is she? Here. This is her. These are some of the new designs that she's working on. So doing a little cleaner, she'll probably drop it down a little bit here, but just that's coming down. That could be a go-to shirt that we'll go with. And another one here. I'm not sure if I'm going to go with this one. I don't know. Seems a little, I don't know. Don't like that one too much. But I really like this white one here. I think it's kind of cool. So anyways, this is what's coming down the pipe in the couple months in the future. And then, of course, we have, this is our biggest one that we got going on, is our member trades. These guys are competing to see who is going to take out one of our professional traders. We will, sadly, have to fire one of our professional traders. So one of these guys, I don't know if it's going to be Yak Attack, Rat, Race Grad, or I think It's Slice is good. He's really competitive. And also PK Recoil. I think he is number 1 right now. But so, for example, PK Recoil will replace one of our lesser performing traders. So it's going to be sad, but at the same time, you get to get one of our best member traders to come up and be a kind of a champion and a professional trader for CFU. Any closing questions before we wrap it up, guys? All right, let's put a pin in it. Thank you so much. Thanks for being with us. Thanks for being a member of CFU. And we'll see you guys in a week. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.